Hello, back to application of organic finish technologies, Tuscan 001e. I have my rag here. Mine's used, yours isn't, I'm sure. Get your rag nice and soaked to grab a bunch of the color, because you want to be putting color onto the wall and not pulling color off of the wall. So get a lot of product on the rag and wring it out. You can see I'm holding mine over the carpet confidently, and it's not dripping. So you don't want it to drip, you just want it to have the color in the rag. Once you've accomplished that, we'll start with showing you a little bit of an edging procedure. We won't end up finishing this entire wall with you today, but we will show you everything you're going to need to know to lay your product in an effective manner. Lose the flash there. What I'll do is I get a little bit of the product on the tip of the rag and I wrap the rag around the end of my finger, and then I'll slide it further up to where the rag's just under my fingernail and dip it again, get a little bit of that product on there. Now if you tilt it back like so, it'll sink back into the rag, and then you're going to come up to your corner. There's a wall I don't want to touch. I'm going to get as close to the corner as possible and come down. You see that? It makes a nice dark mark there. Now I'll show you how to drag those out in a little bit to make them consistent. It's pretty much that simple. People have their preferences to as far in the corner as they want to go. The good thing about this product is it is a water-based product, and until it dries, it's really easy to work with. So if you get some on the wall like that, oh no, you can get yourself a wet paper towel or whatever type of product you would use, anything wet, and you want something durable, not too fibrous. If you do have paper towels, high quality paper towels are better. I'm just going to wipe this side here, and if I continue to wipe that side and drag it down, not only will I pull off the stuff on the wall there, but it'll actually drag some of my stain down the wall. Now you might find, like in this situation here, that it's wet, it looks discolored. Sometimes you can allow it to dry and it'll go back to its normal color. If it doesn't, you can always come back and wipe it again. It might take a little bit of extra scrubbing, but as long as you got a good durable paint finish, it's not going to stain if you don't want it to. And if you want, you can always come back with something dry and wipe this wall again here, and it'll take off more marks after you've just wiped it wet. I'm not going to do that today. I will eventually before this house is finished as part of my punch out, but right now we're going to focus on showing you how to apply the product. Okay, so we have lined the edge. You're going to want to do that all the way up the wall, just like I showed you, or if you have a manner that's better for you. Some people prefer to use maybe a foam brush. You can do that as well. I like to use what's given to me with the kit. So here we go. We're going to edge that in there. I'm going to try to get as close to that corner as possible without actually hitting it. It may be easy to get it off the wall, but let's not go crazy getting it on the other wall, because then we're just going to create more work for ourselves and wiping it places you don't have to, and then wiping it off. It's just doubling the work for yourself. So what you've got is you've got that there. Now I'm going to ball the rag back up in my hand like I showed you earlier. Any pattern's great, and then the more inconsistent, and if you rotate it and continue to rotate it as you're dipping it, you'll continue to pick up different patterns as well that'll help you out. But what I'm going to do is dip it now, just slightly, not the whole rag, just the tip. And I'll pull it up here so you can see. See, just a little bit on there. You see it's wet, but it's not covering the whole face of the rag, just a big circle in the middle there. And now I'm going to take it and I can rub it like this. And if you see, I'm just doing a V shape. And then I can even get more sporadic with it and do some zigzag, pretty much whatever you want to do. This color is going to marble itself. I lay in extra lines and I'll show you how, but you don't need to. You can rub this color on the wall and step back and you have a faux finish. I mean, it's really that simple. And as long as you've edged your lines on the edge here, you see how we have our lines there? Maybe you don't want lines to where you can see where you've laid it. Just dab over it and drag it back like that. Look, you can't even see that you've applied it. See, we've got some more stuff on the wall over here. We'll clean that up in a little bit. I will clean that up for you to show you that even after it's dried, we have the ability to clean it. Now that's just dragging it across the wall. I will complete a good deal of this wall to show you. Now we've dipped our rag again, and you don't always have to dip your rag. Once you get it so used, you'll find yourself dipping the rag less and less because you'll have more product in the rag. But you do not want to rub the paint off your wall or rub your wall dry. And you may notice while rubbing, you see the face of my rag? It's turned white. I'm going to flip that around. And the reason it's turned white, it's not the paint coming off on the rag, it's the rag smashing itself out and matting itself, and you don't want that. So we're going to turn it back around, we're going to dip it a little bit more. We're going to give it a good amount of product this time. Get it on there nice and heavy. I'm not dripping again. As we are working over carpet, it's extremely important not to be dripping. Now we're just going to add it in our sporadic patterns. Let's do that. Just a very sporadic pattern. That's what you want as you go on your edges. That's pressing my palm now to release more of the product from the rag, which is going to cause it to drip down my finger. Catching those drips onto the rag is going to save you product, and it's also going to keep it from dripping onto the floor. White end again. We're going to ball it up. Some textures aren't so heavy, and they may not flatten your rag so fast, or you may not be pushing as hard. I've got a little bit of chips of white paint on there. That's not going to matter, because the wall's taking transformation right now. I can go over some spots if I see a little white coming through, and then it's good to dab. See, some people like brush stroke type look or a drag line look. I don't. So I'll go back and dab, but you can choose where to dab. And if you see where I'm dabbing, you can see where it's darkening. And if I continue around on this wall, it'll get better coverage, but it'll keep its lines. At this point, a lot of the color has set how it's going to set on this wall. Now, it will change if you scrub it hard enough. So if you're happy with it, try to stay away from that area. The cool thing about this finish is it's always repairable. Now, as you can see, I haven't done much of anything to make the marbling color, and it's already beginning to marble itself. And as you can see over here, where we finished before, these colors are a little bit different, but that's just the look at this point in time. This is going to dry to do that, and what we can do is come over here and blend some to show you. Get over here, and this is adding in. We're going to blend in. This is an old one. I mean, this one hasn't been touched for about a week, so it's dry. It's sitting there now. I'm just adding right to it, like nothing. Go right up and add to it. I don't have to worry about it. It's been on the wall a while. It's going to be really hard to damage it. So if you just go up and start adding to the side of your old stuff, now what it's going to do there, and the reason we cut it off at that point, was to continue one of our accent lines. If you overlap it enough, now it won't always if you drag it out and put it on thin, but if you overlap it like I'm doing now, over onto the finish, and then go back and forth with your motion, whatever sporadic design you've chosen for your wall. It is your wall. We want you to have fun applying your mixture here. Alright. We're going to dab that out to pick up some of our stuff, and there you go. And what you'll have is some sponges in your kit that you can pull color off of the walls with that will actually lighten that if you want it lighter now. We don't. We're looking for a nice natural pattern. So we let this stuff pretty much lay how it wants to. And then we go back in some spots, we'll blend a little. If you get any drips on the wall, it's important just to dab those real quick. Always starting from the top area, not completely at the top, to the bottom, so that any drips won't affect what you've done. But it's really that simple. Now we're going to go and show you how to lay a line. Now pushing the rag against the wall with my thumb against a piece of the rag. You see that little mark there? I'm going to continue that mark, now using my thumb and index finger by dabbing and pushing and rolling. You see that laying itself there? And it's picking up some of the dark and laying some dark. And you see that line? Now when I come back, you can see all the little bead marks where I've been pushing on it. No problem. Let that sit for a second. But yeah, I mean, this is how simple this finish is. It's an attractive finish. It's an in-demand finish. People love the parchment marble look. There are ways to lay this finish as a wood grain and others. As well as Organic Finish Technologies is working on coming out with some variations in color and actually some organic oil-based products. If any of you may be interested in the future. Now I'm going to go back and dab this. Now as you can see, I've laid an accent line into the wall and it looks completely natural. After I've gone back and dabbed this, and especially after it dries here in a few hours, this is going to look phenomenal. But really, just rub it on the wall, use some common sense, look for areas that you do like or don't like. You can always alter areas you like or do not like by dabbing them or rubbing on them. The white can easily be filled in anywhere you see it. Really that easy right there, guys. And we wanted to help you guys out a little bit for our buddies over at OFT. We want you guys to be happy with their products. We do a lot of collaboration with them, and this is actually a model home that we're doing using their products. This is our flagship product, of course, as I've mentioned before. But you've seen these pictures online as we work on this house here. And this is the only product that we've used so far, and I mean, it's coming out very, very nice. We've even done some accenting here. Let me get you around here. If you go over here, we've accented the top of the arch here. There's a fake crack we laid in. That was just using the thumb push method. We did it a little bit harder with a little more product on the rag, added some dimples there, and just pushed it out and left it a lot longer. And some of it we never dabbed off at all. So if you want your lines to be dramatic or you want to put some cracks into the wall, this is a good way to do it. And they do look completely natural and completely real. And this place is beginning to look like a castle around here. And it's going to get better. And right now, as you've seen, we did this wall here on our other video. And it's looking really, really nice. And up under here is the ceiling we're working on. We will eventually be finishing this entire kitchen, walls, cabinets, and all using nothing but Organic Finish Technologies products as they're released. So here you go, guys. This is it. Thank you for joining us today, and you guys have a very good afternoon or evening or morning. Enjoy applying your products. Thank you for choosing to do your finishes the natural way, saving Mother Earth, as well as promoting health around your home. You live around these products every day, and it's important to realize that these products are interacted with on a daily basis, and that anything used in your home should be safe for you, safe for your children if you have them, and safe for your pets if you have them as well. And we'd like to do that. We'd like to bring a little bit of Mother Nature back into the home and look good doing it. So thank you guys. You have an excellent afternoon, morning, or evening, and hopefully we see you guys again. Thank you for purchasing OFT.